Well, let's dive right in, you guys. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with me today. Um, I am really excited to just be talking about mindset and to really just talk to you guys after a very heavy week. So I hope that this weekend brings you happiness and joy. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to talk about the three mindset shifts that every yoga teacher needs to build a successful online yoga business. Okay, so I want to start with a very, very important question. So take some time to really let this digest. What if the only thing standing between you and the yoga business of your dreams is your mindset? Let that sink in. What if that was the only thing that was truly standing between you and your dreams with going online and with building the business of your passion? So many yoga teachers think that strategy or social media hacks are the missing piece to what they're missing. And although that can be true, the most important thing and what I believe is the biggest piece of truth here is if your mindset is rooted in scarcity or self-doubt, then no amount of strategy is going to stick and change what you want to change for yourself and for your online business. So, with that being said, I want to walk you through three very powerful mindset shifts that have helped not only me, but so many people inside, so many women inside of our Empowered Collective course shift from hustling around town, teaching for quite literally pennies, to building a business that they truly love online. So, by the end of this, you are going to truly see exactly how your thoughts and beliefs can either keep you very small, stuck, and in the same place of just wanting to change something that you are not taking action, quite frankly, and changing, to now opening up the door to freedom, to abundance, and to actual purpose that you can tell yourself, or at least shift within yourself, that this is actually possible. Okay. So I want to share a little bit kind of where I started. Like I started teaching, I was driving literally so far to two different studios, early mornings, late nights, back-to-back classes, picking up any freaking class that I could pick up at the time, but my paycheck just never matched the energy that I was giving. And worst of all, I believed that that was literally the only way that I can do something that I truly loved, and that was teaching yoga. And most importantly, like just teaching people how to connect deeper with their bodies. I thought to myself, like, genuinely, this can't be the farthest point of being a teacher, and what changed wasn't just having a platform or a new app or understanding how to build a Facebook group or so on and so forth. What really changed for me was my mindset. I can't even tell you how many months it took Angelica. And if you're in the Empowered Collective course or have been in this group for a really long time, obviously you know Angelica, yoga celebrity, um, to really wake me up to my mindset. I was keeping myself small the entire time. I was thinking of myself as, the corporate worker that I was, and, just thinking very small, like, oh, I guess this has to be it. Like, I did my dreams, I did my training, and this is it. But I knew that something behind it was not like there was something that was not congruent. And it took her forever to finally wake me up and be like, no, girl, like you could actually do so much more with your training. And it really shifted everything for me. What it was is it allowed me to build an online business as well as my own confidence to know what was possible. And most importantly, it got me to a point of saying yes to myself and taking action. So if you are ready to say yes to yourself, especially after I share these three mindset shifts with you, I want you to comment, yes, I'm empowered, in the comments below. so I can shoot you over the link and you can have a conversation with Angelica and I. We only talk to those that are ready, that want to take action and that are ready to go and build this business that they want. So once you take into effect these three mindset shifts and you're ready to go, you are gung ho, you have the fire under your butt that we help keep there for you. I want you to comment, yes, I'm empowered, so that I can get you in contact with me and Angelica and we can have a very personal conversation on how this is going to look for you and really get you out of that lack mentality. Okay? All right. So, three mindsets. Let's start with the first one. First one is from scarcity to abundance. Okay? Most teachers will operate from a mindset of scarcity. Like I said, I was at a place where, oh my gosh, is this it? Or maybe when you're in a classroom, there isn't enough students to teach, or the market is too saturated, speaking on a general term. Nobody's going to pay me for what I want to do online. All of that is scarcity. All of that is not the truth, right? This is the truth. There are more people looking for yoga and wellness and transformation today than ever before, especially like something to help fuel their soul right now in this day and age. The problem is that it's not, is there enough students, will somebody pay me, is this really what what being a yoga teacher is, driving from class to class getting paid on the pennies, right? It's that most teachers don't position themselves as the solution. And that is the biggest mindset shift. You have to change from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. You cannot be in a place of this is all that there is, because the world is so vast. The sky is the limit. You just have to say yes to yourself and take the action and know that it's possible, that there is not a glass ceiling above you, right? So, one technique that has really supported me and most in the Empowered Collective is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, and comment if you have. I don't see any comments right now, but comment if you've heard of brain dumping as a technique. Brain dumping is where you literally will take some time in the morning and you will just journal everything that has been on your brain and just dump it onto a piece of paper. And what I think is important here is that this allows you to take everything that you've been holding on to from the night before or the day before or the weeks before and just dump it. Sure have. Yes, right, Courtney? The brain dump is like so unbelievably powerful. So, starting in the morning and just shifting immediately from anything that you feel might be holding you back from the jump, like literally when you wake up in the morning and you dump it all out and you realize that everything that you're saying is just not the truth. And then I want you to look at it. I want you to read what you write down and I want you to shift everything that you've said into an abundance mindset. Maybe you're writing something like, I feel like I'm never going to be paid my worth. And instead, I want you to shift that to, people do pay me my worth because I'm an expert at what it is that I know how to do. And by going online or by following my dreams, whatever those dreams look like to you, people are going to find value in that, right? I want you to write that down and then shift the way that you look at it and then start your day. Because what that's going to do is it's going to take out the scarcity out of your mind and it's going to remind you of the person that you are. It's going to re empower you for the person that you are and really give you that motivation of like, all right, self, you're right. I can actually do this. Let me crumple up this piece of journal brain dump paper and throw it in the trash because I don't identify with that anymore. And the more that you do that, the more that you will be able to really eliminate that scarcity in the mind and bring and invite in more of an abundance mindset. Okay, so that is my first technique, mindset shift for you. I'm gonna give you a technique in each one of these, but that is my first, like, biggest mindset shift. You have to start thinking from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, right? If anybody is like listened to, any meditations like from Joe Dispenza or, gosh, I'm having a brain fart, Lewis Hay, or, any of those mindset, law of attraction style people, a lot of them will talk about how thoughts are things, right? So if you continue to think of the same thoughts over and over again of lack, of I can't do this, I've been burned in the past, I've worked with people before and it just didn't get me to where I was, I challenge you to not only change the way that you think those thoughts, because those thoughts do become things, they become reality, right? Not only challenge you into changing that, but to challenge your past self of like, oh, actually, I can do those things. Yeah, maybe I was burned in the past, but maybe I just didn't put the right amount of effort. Maybe I didn't have the right amount of fire under my butt to actually say yes to myself. Maybe I wasn't in the right place at the time and I do need to change my mindset before I can actually step into something like this, right? Courtney, I'm always talking back to my brain. I call it parenting my brain. I love that so much. That's so true. What I've actually read in a book is that you can name that other part of your brain, like a name that you don't really like I don't know, like Edith. I don't know. That just sounded like a not a forgive me if anybody's name is Edith. It just came to my mind. But like naming that part of your brain as like, be quiet, Edith. That is not who I am. That is not me. But yes, to your point, Courtney, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about is calling out the old self, challenging yourself and being like, all right, maybe at that time I needed to go through that because I truly wasn't ready. I truly wasn't shifting. I wasn't in a place of abundance. I wasn't giving everything that I got, right? So, come look at where you were and then from where you are now, or how you've come to where you are now, and lead from a place of empowerment. Like, no, I'm going to change my mindset. I'm leading from a place of abundance. I'm going to get paid my worth. I'm an expert at what it is that I can do, and I can do this. I'm empowered to do this. Again, if you're ready to get on a call with Angelica and I to talk deeper about this, comment yes, I'm empowered. I will send you the link right away and we will connect and see what's right for you because you deserve to not only shift your mindset, but to say yes to yourself and start living your dreams. All right, I digress. I'm getting too deep into the scarcity to abundance mindset. Let's go into the second mindset shift. This is thinking from an employee to a leader, someone that works for someone to someone that works for themselves. Many yoga teachers will still think of themselves as employees, where they're waiting to be told what to do, where to go, who to teach, what to teach, believing that their worth comes from someone else, comes from another studio or gym or something that you work for, or comes from, let's say you were trained at a studio that does a specific style of vinyasa or class, and that is the style that you teach every single time, right? Believing that their worth comes from that, that they're only a good teacher if they teach that because that's what they were taught. But the shift really happens when you start to think as a leader, where you start to come from a place of, okay, I'm not supporting someone else's business. Not that that's a bad thing. That's great. I mean, that's where we all really start, right? Is where, I'm sure if you remember your first job, put that in the comments. Mine was at, I don't like to call it a fast food place because it wasn't really fast food, but it was like a place that you could eat inside, and like, soccer teams and youth teams would come in. They would have like their parties there after their soccer games or their basketball games or whatever. But it also had a drive through. So, anyways, like, I want you to think of like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's where somebody always starts somewhere. You always have a first job where you're supporting another business, another dream, another conglomerate, right? But because we've had that for so long, and some of you might be coming from a corporate place, right? It's really hard to get out of that mindset of like thinking as an employee to thinking as a leader, especially when you have these deep dreams of wanting to build an online yoga business or an online business. What's really important is to start challenging those thoughts and coming from a place of, I get to create my own business. I have these ideas that are viable. I know these things, these techniques, all of these certifications that I have can help people. I get to decide what I can offer, right? I get to call in the students who align with me. Changing in, believing in the worth, believing that your worth comes from something else that you're showing up to every single day, rather than your worth coming from yourself and what you can create for yourself and for these people that you choose to support and transform in your life, depending on who you want to talk to, that is where the shift comes in. So instead of asking yourself, oh, what studio is going to hire me? Should I pick up all of these classes? Should I keep teaching at this studio that pays me $1 a head? And this is a true story. I was on a call with somebody who literally told me that their studio charges or pays them $1 a head. Can you imagine coming in and like, let's say your commute is 30 minutes and you show up at this studio and you have three people. You get paid $3 for a 75-minute class, not to mention all the prep work that went into it, the commute that got you there, the conversations and the level of onness that you needed to have to converse with these students, to teach the class in and of itself, then talk to them afterwards, close up the studio, drive 30 minutes back for $3. Like, that is not the question anymore. The question is not, should I be doing this? Should I stay where I am? The question is, what experience can I create for myself? What can I build? What is it that I get to offer to these people? How can I be different in showing up and think and coming from a place of being a leader, of creating something that I know has been in my heart for so long that I just need to know how to put it into fruition. To be honest, that's like mostly where a lot of yoga teachers get stuck, is that they have this passion, they're ready to say yes to themselves, but what's holding them back is the mentality of being an employee, of being a place of like waiting to be told, waiting to, for the right moment, for the right person to work with. You have to show up as a leader. You have to take control of what it is that's happening in your life. I'm going to create this. This feels good to me. I'm going to work with these people and I'm going to see how they can guide me into what I know I can create and how I can share and change people's lives, because I know that I can. Right? If you're ready again to make that shift, comment yes, I'm empowered, and I will get you on a call with us. And you can see if that is something that works for you. If we don't jive, then girl, we don't jive. I pray for you and I hope that you find somebody that can help you. But let me tell you, we are very down to business, but also no BS. Like, if you want to take action and you want to change your life and you want to shift this mindset of coming from a place of paycheck to paycheck, clocking in and out for your time, and shift into a place of building something that is important to you and actually standing firm in your expertise, and all you really need is just the help and guidance into how to actually do it online, because that's what I've found is the hardest part for most people, then say yes to yourself. Shift that mindset. Okay? One technique that I have for you in that is to, very much like Courtney says, call out that parent, like parenting your brain, right? So throughout the day, if something like that comes up, a thought comes and arises into your mind of like, I don't know, maybe I should just stay where I am. It's safer here. I get a paycheck from, you know, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and it's not as much money as I want, but, it's safe and I got it. I want you to challenge those thoughts as you progress. Call out that brain, give it a name, or parent your brain. Hey girl, that's actually not true. Yes, this is serving us right now. This paycheck is serving us right now. But what we can do is we can take an action step to move that needle forward. Maybe I do need to stay at this job right now, and that's okay. But what's really important is that I continue to move the needle forward on my business and what I know is in my heart, because I can. So don't tell me that this has to be my safe space, because the incongruency in my body has been telling me otherwise. Right? The body and the mind are two very different things. So that's my technique to you. If a thought arises, I want you to challenge it. I want you to immediately counter that, because the more that you do that, the more that you are going to start thinking as a leader. You are going to start to get that empowerment from the ground up and really feel it in your body, so that your mind will then start to follow. That's one thing that one of my really old bosses that I took from him said for a long time, was that get your body to start moving and the mind is going to follow. Prime example of this is, let's say you want to start changing your daily schedule and waking up at 5 a.m. And That's really challenging, right? Because if you're up at 5 a.m., 5:30 comes and, or, as time progresses, 5:30 hits and you're just like, holy crap, I just want to go back to bed, right? But instead, if you're getting up early and you got your workout clothes ready and you're out the door by 5:30 and then you're on the treadmill by 5:45, your body is doing it, then your mind is eventually going to follow, like, all right, okay, cool, 10 minutes on the treadmill, like, all right, let's crush this. I'm at the gym, let's do it. So your body is really the truth teller in my mind, in my opinion, I should say. So if your body is really what's giving you that incongruency and your mind is saying, "Oh, well, it's safe here. We can just do this. I don't have to change anything right now, even though my heart has been telling you." No, challenge that. Start thinking as a leader. Take control of what your body is and has been trying to tell you for who knows how long. All right. Okay. So I digress on this mindset shift. Y'all, I can talk about this all day. So it's going to be a little bit longer of a live than the others. So that is my second mindset shift. Start thinking from or excuse me, start shifting from an employee to a leader. Really, really get focused on how you can start taking control of your life. All right. Last mindset shift. Number three, I want you to shift from doubt to confidence. This is the final and biggest shift. You're going from who am I to do this to why not me? Everything that I just talked about leads you to this because once you get from the place of scarcity to abundance, then you get from the place of thinking as an employee to a leader of your life. You finally just need to get to a point of overcoming any level of doubt, any remnants of doubt that is there, and coming to a place of confidence. That's what that does for you. Shifting from who am I to do this to why not me? Didn't you get all of these certifications for a reason? Didn't you go through hours and hours of training, of studying, of teaching to do something with it? Aren't you an expert at what you have been doing for years? Who better than you? Oh, the market is saturated. No, that's going back to thinking as scarcity. The market's not saturated, and let me tell you why, because there is no other you like you. There may be a lot of people focusing on yoga for postpartum moms, but I can tell you one thing, there is not going to be another Francesca that focuses on yoga for postpartum moms. And Francesca is going to be able to speak to those people that Francesca aligns with. And those people that Francesca aligns with has been waiting for somebody like her to speak to her. And that goes for you. Whatever your expertise is, there is people out there waiting for you to deliver that information specifically to them. Because yes, there could be a lot of people. There are so many people in the world doing yoga all over the world and all over online, but there is no other you like you. There is no other you that is going to step into that role and deliver that transformation in the way that only you can. And the most important thing is that the people that align with someone like you have been waiting for you. Like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to work with someone like her. I've been waiting to figure out how I can overcome this. And here she is. I come across her ad on Instagram. I came across her TikTok page, or I stumbled upon her Facebook group. Thank goodness that this happened. Thank God I was aligned with this. Who not better than you? You need to shift from a place of doubt to a place of confidence. Stand firm in all the thousands of dollars that you've spent on your certifications, and don't stay stuck in a place just because of your mindset. The doubt is going to show up when you start to compare yourself to where you are versus where you want to be or where you thought you would be. Worrying about if you're not good enough because you should have been at a certain place at a certain time in your life. Let me tell you, if anybody has gone through this time and time again, it's me. You need to think about where the confidence lies within you because it's there. It comes from when you remind yourself that you already have everything that you need. You just need to say yes to yourself. You just need to show the heck up. You need to say yes to the people that want to help you. You need to say yes to, yes, maybe you do need to be in that job right now, but you need to say yes to moving the needle forward. You need to say yes to yourself because you know that you can. So, what is my technique for this? My technique for this is I gave you a technique to journal in the morning. I gave you a technique throughout the day. Just realize that that's what this is. Wow, I'm giving you a full like day of techniques that you can do all in one day. This is great. I love that. I'm gonna make a video about this, that specifically. But anyways, I gave you a technique for the morning. You have your brain dump. Get it all out. Get all the scarcity shit out. Okay? I give you a technique throughout the day. Challenge those thoughts. Remind yourself of who you are. My technique for the end of the day is use an evidence list. So at the end of the day, I want you to write down what impacted you throughout the day or how you impacted somebody throughout the day. How you maybe helped somebody in the workplace feel a little less anxious about maybe they thought that they were doing something wrong, or you stepped in to help somebody because they were feeling off that day, or whatever that looks like. I want you to write an evidence list for that day, something that you impacted or how somebody impacted you. What that's going to do is when you review that, that's going to support you in giving that's going to support the confidence in you and being like, wow, I can do this. Maybe you taught a class and someone came up to you afterwards and was like, oh my God, I've never been able to touch my toes before today. Thank you for cueing in the way that you did. I was able to feel it deeper in my body and engage more, where I was able to hinge at the hips and my fingertips grazed my toe tips. And that's never happened to me before. How incredible! Write that in your evidence list because that will shift you from doubt to confidence and remind you of who you are. Remind you that you're just like, wow, I can do this. I can help people. Why the heck am I not online helping more people in the world? And that's my question to you, girl. Why are you not online? Why are you not working with us? Why do I not see a yes, I'm empowered comment yet? And also, if you're watching the replay, just comment, yes, I'm empowered. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. um, but yes, that is like the biggest, like, full circle with the mindset shifts. You have to pull from a place of doubt to confidence. Stop comparing yourself to your past self. Your past self brought you here and brought you here for a reason. The steps have been laid before you already, before you walked in them. And they were laid there for a reason. If you keep looking back, then you're just going to keep either in the same place or you're going to stay stuck looking back at why you did the things that you did. You need to look at the steps in front of you and step into them with confidence because you can do what you want to do. And there's a reason why you're watching this live, or there's a reason why you joined this group. I got a little preachy today, you guys. I'm sorry. But anyhow, that is my 3 shifts. I will conclude there because I think we are a little bit longer than I normally am, and that's all right. I appreciate you guys staying on with me. So just to recap, mindset number 1, you want to shift from scarcity to abundance. Use that brain dump technique first thing in the morning. Journal out all the shit out of your mind. Reread it and shift it into abundance. Remind yourself of who you are. Second mindset shift, start thinking from an employee to a leader. Start thinking as somebody who leads, somebody who is ready to build something on their own, who is tired of the SHIT that you've been living in every single day. And even if that's not what your life is every single day, and you actually do really enjoy your job, you just want to start shifting. That's okay. Start shifting into the fact that like that you don't have to stay in this job if you don't want to. If something has shifted in your body and you're just like, I think I want to change course and this is something that I want to do. I want to go online and start helping postpartum moms. You can start thinking from a place that you can do that. And lastly, shift from doubt to confidence. Confidence is going to be your best friend. Remember that doubt is a liar. Doubt is a liar, and our thoughts are not always the truth. Listen to what your body is telling you and what your heart is telling you. If you feel incongruent, then something needs to shift. Figure out what that is, pull the doubt out of it, and reinforce the confidence that you can do it. So these 3 shifts are going to be what the foundation of a thriving yoga business online is. Without them, not a single strategy that you implement, if you don't change these things about your mindset, and then you jump on a call with Angelica or I, and we tell you about all of the ways that we can support you in building this online business, both, you know, spiritually in the sense of like not spiritually, but in a mentorship and in a strategy level. It's just not going to work. Why? Because then you're just going to sabotage yourself because you haven't fixed your mindset, or you're not committed to shifting your mindset. So this is the first and most important step to a thriving online yoga business, is you have to get your mindset in order. And then when you have somebody to support you, like Angelica and I, or being in the Empowered Collective, or anywhere else that you choose to go, that's when the strategy is really going to hit. Okay, so if you're listening and you feel like this kind of pulled at the heartstrings, or you're just like, yes, girl, this is what you needed, because I felt a little preachy today. Then you are not alone. I invite you again, please comment. Yes, I'm empowered. Get on a call with Angelica and I, and just see if this is something that is doable for you. Because if it is, then great, we can help you get there. And if it's not, then it's not. We have a lot of other free resources that can support you as well. And when you're ready, we will always be here. Okay, so step out of lack, step into abundance. Finally, get into the shoes of creating the business that you know that you are meant to do and meant for. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for the last 32 minutes. Courtney, thank you so much for chiming in. And I will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you on the next live in about a week. Same time, same place. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.